Hello guys, hello friends. Following the Utumishi school fire disaster, which left 16 of our innocent daughters dead, 79 nursing injuries of various degrees are in hospital. Many of the students, virtually all, left mentally scarred by whatever happened to their fellow students. I think we should not stop this conversation. I think this conversation should continue until something drastic is done. I think the weakness that we have as Kenyans is that we tend to move on too quickly. Something bad happened, so something bad happens. After a few days, something else comes up and we forget whatever happened just a week or two ago. I think in this particular case, we should not drop the ball. And I like the fact that Parliament took time off to discuss this particular matter. I did hear some members of Parliament suggest that boarding schools should be phased off. I did hear one member propose that we need a commission of inquiry. I did hear about members of Parliament talking about parental involvement, parental role in raising their children, the role of religious leaders in raising children in these difficult times. Those are good conversations that we should have. None should be dismissed out of hand because at this moment we just need to talk. Because we don't want another Utumishi to happen to any school within this republic. Now there is a video that has gone viral. It's a video by Mwalimu Amunga, who some of us know. He's been on TV, he's been on radio. And I do respect that conversation as well because it is contributing to the overall debate. Mwalimu alleges that what happened at Utumishi Girls can be reduced to one thing: homosexuality. Mwalimu also alleged that there's a school in Siaya County called Ambira where there was student unrest. And he alleges that some of the older students who are homosexual pushed out the younger children who are in grade 10. Those are very serious allegations, and they deserve to be investigated. I did talk to my own son who went to one of the national boarding schools in this country. And he did tell me that yes, there are cases of homosexuality. But he was quick to add that the students who identify as such are in the minority. In fact, they try to hide the fact that they are gay. He told me that on the last day of the school, these students even hide from the other students because they fear that they might be beaten for identifying as gay, or they are suspected of being gay. I've also talked to many parents who have children in different boarding schools around the country, and I hear the same thing. That yes, there's homosexuality in boarding schools, but it has not reached a crisis level where these homosexual students are so powerful that they can force out a whole grade 10. So whereas that needs to be investigated, I think there are doubts that are being raised about that as the primary cause of the challenges we are facing today. Having had a son in a national school which was heavily congested, a school that should be having 800 students at most was accommodating anything between 2,400 and 3,000 students. The hostels where these students were spending their nights and part of their day, those schools are death traps. Or rather, those boarding facilities are death traps. Those boarding facilities are prisons where children do get a chance to go home 3 times a year. There's no running water. There are no clean toilets. My son reported waking up very early in the morning. Immediately the toilets were cleaned so he can use the toilet, because thereafter it was virtually impossible to use them. We have cases where these children go to bed at 11 p.m. or midnight, and by 4 a.m. they're being woken up to go to preps. How long this child sleep? 3 hours, 4 hours? So how can we expect our children to be mentally healthy when they don't get enough sleep, when they're being bitten by bed bugs at night when they are sleeping, when they don't get enough food? The ones who don't have pocket money may actually go hungry, when they don't have clean toilets. I tell you, there are lots of issues with boarding schools and with our school system in general that need to be addressed. So regarding phasing out boarding schools is a conversation that we must have. Of course, I know it's something that we can't do overnight. We can't wake up tomorrow and decide boarding schools are banned. No, but it's something we need to begin thinking about. In the next 20, 30 years, what do we do? Work backwards and decide by 2050, we should have 80% day schools and only 20% boarding schools. How do we get there? That every county has got schools that are as good as Alliance, as Tarehe, as Maseno, as Mango. And so as a parent who lives in Wajir, I don't have to fight to have my children in Alliance or in Starehe or in Mango. My name is Fred Gori. Let's keep the conversation going.